And so it really starts with just scribbling things in my sketchbook. And sometimes it's just very rough doodles of
Mm.
these key situations in the story. Or I might switch from these rough doodles to actually thinking of drawings of the characters in the story. So the first, I had to kind of think about who the main characters of the story would be. I really wanted to also make it situate it in a particular place. So then I chose rural Kerala. And I wanted the characters, even their names, I thought were, important. It should be
Yeah.
uh, really authentic. So I started thinking about what people would be named. So the name of the female cop, I thought Jincy Jose would be a nice name because it just sounds like, I don't know, it has a superhero kind of ring to it, or
Yeah. Like Peter
you know
Parker and all that.
yeah,
Yeah.
like Peter Parker, or something like that. And
Mm.
then the lady who loses her buffalo is her name is Tessama, which is actually my partner's mother's name.
Right.
And she also looks a lot like her because I used to sometimes see her when she is in Kerala. She wears only that settimunda, which is that very thin white two-piece sari with
Mm.
that border. And she's actually a very stoic and an extremely, I would say, Gandhian type of person because she doesn't, there's no jewelry, there is nothing on her. But in the evenings, when she has that famous Malayali bath, she
Yeah.
lets her hair loose. And then I feel like her personality just transforms. It's like she's got long hair and it just bounces off her head like that. And there's this complete transformation that happens after 4 o'clock. And but it's very nice to see. So I thought, that perhaps that could become the character who loses her buffalo because that's the only thing she has. And so it's serious enough for her to go to like the cops with. So of course this character of Tessama, the lady who loses her buffalo,
Yeah.
was born out of that. And then of course
And
if
is this something you sort of habitually do for all your books? Do you bring in real life people you
yeah,
know
I
and turn them
think
into
I do
characters?
because I do have the habit of, sketching people or even sketching from memory sometimes, people on the
Yeah.
street.
You had that, yeah.
And
You had that
yeah,
series on the Delhi Metro and stuff, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
I do, I think, use some of those characters in my books depending on how they would fit in. So, yeah, so there are actually all the characters are there ready made out in the world, and then you just need to fit them into the world that you are creating. And of course, then if I had Jincy Jose, I need, someone diametrically opposite to Jincy Jose, which is the other male cop. So, that
Yeah.
thing of the politics in the police station where you kind of get a layer of feminist politics also, which kind of plays out in that police station where the only
Yeah. Yeah.
person who takes the uh Tessama, the lady who's lost her buffalo, her problem seriously is another woman cop, while the men are just kind of being useless as usual, as in all looking for larger, more glorious things to do. Um, so I wanted to bring in a layer of that. So then I have this bunch of cops who don't take Tessima seriously. And the main, like, I think I mentioned this before, like, the main cop was really modeled around this Malayalam actor called Suresh Gopi. And Suresh Gopi has, like, as you would know, played multiple cop roles, and
Mm.
he's always he plays these really macho, sadistic uh, sort of
Yeah.
roles,
And and
And
always throws out these random English expletives at
yes,
at
yeah,
opportune moments. He's just, yeah,
and,
he's just like
yeah.
shit and things like that. It's just, yeah.
Yeah. So it was sort of my way of just putting Suresh Gopi in this really buffoon-like position.
Yeah.
Like, take revenge or
Not a very not much of a stretch really for him. Yeah. So
yeah, so I mean that was kind of easy, his casting was
yeah, yeah,
easy in this book, and so on
yeah.
and so forth. So the thing is that also there are certain things that one sort of instinctively knows well, like say the character of Tessima. So I've seen a lot of people like that, or the clothes they wear, and so something like that is easy. It comes more instinctively. But say if I'm making one of the characters is a cop, or I'm setting something in a police station, so maybe I'm not
Mm,
as familiar with, or I vaguely know what the uniform is like, but that now I need to kind of get into a slightly deeper visual research where I kind of actually check what the Kerala police uniform is like, where their badges
right.
are, or you know also, not that I'm very strict about how exactly it would, uh, sometimes I feel like some liberties are also nice, but
Yeah.
overall, I feel like it should look authentic. So then I get into these details of, what the police station sort of looks like, what the color scheme. So even in the book, if you look at all the situations, all the scenes that are set within the police station are in these slightly drab colors, which is like gray and
Mm.
whereas outside of the police station, it's really in that typical Kerala environment, very
Yeah,
lush green.
that
If you go
contrast
to
really works
that,
very well. Yeah.
yeah. So you start thinking about color palettes and things like that, and even the other cast of characters. I really wanted the syncretic nature of the place in the kind of characters that one, puts in. So
Yeah.
you have, the tea seller called Dulkarika, or
Right.
the Remini and Savitri, and there's someone called Chakochin, so these
Mm.
are, it gives that place a sense of authenticity. So you can really get place where these characters come from, even the clothes that they wear. So there is this one character of she's a Muslim lady, but she's a Muslim lady from Malabar. And you know that because, she's not wearing what would typically one would assume is a hijab, but it's, the kind of, they used to wear that,
Yeah.
especially older women, they used to wear that shirt and a very
That's
different
right.
kind of
Yeah.
thing on their head. Also, just to like show communities not as monoliths, especially in the times that we are living in, flattening a community and homogenizing it is what people are
Yeah.
looking for. The idea of that is used as a sort of a weapon. So I just like really take care of representation.
You've just listened to a brief extract from episode 2 of Happy Accidents, a series of interviews with creative practitioners on craft, process, and authenticity in the age of AI. This episode, in which I, Vinayak Varma, interview writer illustrator Priya Kuriyan, releases on Sunday, July 12th. Listen to the full episode, find podcast links, RSS feeds, show notes, and more on happyaccidents.co.in.